and welcome back to a new video on my channel, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the positive feedback. Maybe I've already said that in another video, but I'm going to do a Q&A today, and I'm gonna paint some details on this piece, so hopefully I can do both the things at the same time. So I'm going to paint a fox today, and I will try to get some shooting from behind as well, but as of now I only have one camera. So I will just open up my paint. I love this Van Dyke brown. It's if you have the raw umber, this is a lot warmer. So whenever I want to mix something with orange, I always use this one because it's warmer and it blends more nicely together. The one that I got like most was how did I get started? How do I find my inspiration and my style? It took me a while. I had this vision that I was going to only make really minimalistic and like beige white paintings, and this was at the time where, you know, this it was the most popular with these abstract that you made with this structure paint thing, and that was what I was going for, like a beige background and then maybe like a woman's body, really nice and put together. But that did not end up good. It looked awful, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, and I didn't get any nice structure at all, and it was just a mess. So I ended up painting that over, and a bunch of times I just tried to cover up the previous mess. So eventually it led to the canvas having more and more colors on it. Then I started to look around more on Instagram and Pinterest to see like inspiration for flower paintings, this thicker paste paint styles, and I love that. Turns out I'm terrible at that too. And then I have a very close friend, and she did this cool landscape. I will tag her below, and we will actually have an exhibition together next week. And we know each other very well, and she was the one who convinced me to start painting in the first time. So she taught me some techniques, and I am forever grateful for her. She was the one who taught me that you can paint with a sponge, and that I have had a lot of usage for. But I really get so many questions about this, and I just feel like it takes time to find your style, and if that means that you get inspiration from another artist or something, that's totally fine. That will lead you to finding your own style. It's not fun to copy any other work, but if that is something that can lead you into painting and learning new techniques, I say go for it, and then tag the person that inspired you, or and do something maybe if you feel like maybe this was a little too close and I want to sell this piece. Then I get tagged super many times, and that makes me so happy that people actually give you some credit. But then of course I get inspired by a bunch of artists that I follow as well, and I think that's a natural thing, and it has always been that way forever in art. Nobody, especially today, can just wake up with this vision that has never been done before, with a new technique that has never been done before. A common question was also how I ship my paintings, and I do that with wood boxes. I get those pre-made and that's super nice, but beforehand I made those myself with my boyfriend and it took so much time and so much energy. Also, common question is when will fine art prints arrive? And I wondered that too. But since I'm only one person and I have to do everything else in the company as well, I haven't really had the time to develop good posters. It has been a tough time for my posters because I have got so many like test poster, but they turn out so bad you can't even imagine. The first batch I got, you couldn't barely see that this was a good photo because it was just so blurry and messy and it looked really bad. But now I have wait, I'm trying to find. Now I have got some tips that you can actually scan the artworks, but then you have to go to that place, get all the pieces there safe, and they will need to keep it for about 1 week. And I don't have a car, don't have a driver's license, and don't really have that much time over. So hopefully within the next couple of months we will have some prints, but I'm not trying to stress it because I love my originals and that's what I think it's most fun to do. And I'm guessing that maybe the original sales will go down a bit if I start doing a bunch of prints. And I don't want to paint any less, so I hope people still buy the original pieces. But those will also be fine art prints, so they will be a little bit more expensive than your typical poster. There is also a few questions regarding how I could do this on full time and when I started painting and when I could work full time. And I started painting, I think it was 2021. I had a business previous to that when I did crochet and I did cute little animals and I sold prints so that people could do the same. That took ages and I started making rugs and thinking that maybe I can work with my creativity and I could charge a bit more for the rugs rather than charging so much for like a teddy bear. And I felt that had like a highest price that people would pay, but it could take me 30-40 hours to make something and then sell it for like $50, and that was a little bit low for me, and I realized that I couldn't do that on full time. So my friend Michaela, she actually convinced me to try my creativity in painting, and I had painted a bit previous, but nothing like this, just for fun, and I loved it from the first start. And since I already had a bit of a community before with my crocheting, I started my Instagram account and I redirected my TikTok account and starting making art videos. And of course the algorithm did not reward me because I switched my niche, whatever. After a while, I got some hate comments and I started to stitch those hate comments, and that tracked a lot more of traffic to my art pieces. And for that part, I only did like rough paint strokes, and I wanted to incorporate yarn into my painting, so I embroidered in the paintings as well, but it wasn't the most flattering art style. But then I continued and I thought it was really fun and I liked to do content around it, so I started doing it. And I think it was about maybe 1 year ago that so many of my videos started to go super viral, and that led me to a huge following really quick. And previous I had sold only through Instagram, and I had it as a side business, and it was doing very well. I actually made more money from that than I did on my regular job, but it was, you know, the safety and everything by having a normal job. But then I felt like as the following went up and all the new posts and things I put out there just started going better and better, and then I had to come to the decision that I need to do this full time for my health, and I just feel like this is the right thing to do. So last December I quit my job and I got this studio, and since then I have been a full-time artist, and I still can't believe it. So I actually only have done this full-time for about 4 months. But it's so exciting and I'm super happy. This is for sure the best thing that I have ever done. Ever. And I hope that everyone who loves to be creative gets the chance to actually work with the thing that they love, because it's hard, it's really hard, and I take everything personal. So when I don't have any sales, or like now my algorithm on Instagram is really bad and that has stressed me out a lot, I take that so personal and I get super affected by it. But I think that it's still worth it. Let's see if we have maybe a shorter question. Okay, which brand of paint do you think is the best? It's hard. I use mostly paints from Winsor and Newton, but I don't like their packaging, and you will almost always see me with these packaging because these lids, they break all the time, and I don't know what's happened. Everything gets stuck in here and you can't open them often, and then you try to open this way, but if you get paint here or in here and you close it again, you will never get to open it because it's stuck like glue. So I always purchase the smaller ones, and I like that for detail work as well, but it makes it more expensive in the long run. But then we also have my trusty Amsterdam brand, and these two are my absolute favorite colors. So this was a game changer when I found it, because I am still in the search for the perfect blue. But this one is a grayish blue, and I have never seen anything like this one. I will link it down below as well. I actually just made an Amazon storefront with my favorite paints, so you can check that out if you want. And then we have the warm gray, and this is really nice. I know that Amsterdam has, I know that Winsor and Newton have this one that is the pale umber, and that's really pretty too. But this one is so much more warm and really nice. These are a great brand. Okay, someone is writing that they feel insecure about their art and what to do to get over it. And I feel you so much, but you just have to keep going. And I used to think that even if because in the beginning, especially if you don't have the resources to buy new paint all the time and buy canvases because it's expensive, then I tried to sell each piece so that I could get money to do a new one. But then I was like, okay, but no one is gonna like this. It looks really bad. It's just best to start over and throw this one away. But then I just try to think that even if it's something that I don't like, someone else might love it. I don't really work that way now, because now I feel like I have to stand behind every piece that I have done, and I don't want to sell a piece for quite the amount of money and then don't think it's nice myself. But in the beginning, when I didn't charge more than the material costs, then I could feel okay by selling a piece that I didn't personally love. And that made me being able to purchase more things and get more practice, and eventually it feels good. But I had a day yesterday that everything I made just made it so much worse. I felt like I ruined every piece, and then I'm too embarrassed to post about it, or I feel like people are gonna cancel me because they think it's so ugly that I can't possibly make anything nice again. But everyone is different. People appreciate different things, and you just have to get over that to be able to create something that you love. And that will give you the energy and motivation to go forward. Because all it takes is practice. No one is just good at different things. Everything you get from practicing. Okay, I think I need to take a little break so I can change the camera to here instead. Oh, one cute question is, how are you doing? And that they would love to know more about myself. And I actually am doing pretty well. I have had a rough past year, and I have been on how do you say, antidepressives for almost, is it a year now? I don't know, but it has been quite a time, and I have shared a bit on that on my Instagram as well, because I have a lot of anxiety and I have a lot of panic attacks, and that has just escalated for the last year. It started last summer and just started to get worse and worse and worse. Hello! As I said, I have had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks since last summer, and it isn't the first time that I have had this kind of period in my life, so it's nothing too new to me, but I don't know, it just takes me by surprise every time. I feel like I have a 5-year circle, and every 5 years I get into this super anxious. It's usually around like 8 months. It was that the last time, and it was after 8 months now that I started to feel better again. It's so crazy. This time I'm on medicine, and I still am, but I wasn't the last time, or I was at the beginning, but I didn't really feel any different, so I stopped. But now I'm actually feeling a lot more better, and I haven't had a panic attacks in a couple of weeks, and I'm forever grateful for that. So I'm actually just so excited for this summer. I was a bit nervous that I wasn't going to be able to do anything, but now I feel safe going to another country. So last year I was in Greece and in Albania. That's where my anxiety kicked in again. And I started having multiple panic attacks in Albania. And I was so nervous that I wasn't going to be able to go home, because I couldn't go out the door without having these panic attacks and thinking that I was going to puke. And when I have these attacks, I usually get like cramps in my whole body, and I just lay on the floor and have cramps, and it's just, I hate it so much. But it feels better now, and I'm excited, and I really feel like I have a safe place here in my studio as well. So, and people always tells me that painting is so therapeutic, and I really feel that way as well. So I'm forever grateful that I can do this, and I hope that if other people struggle with anxiety as well, that they maybe can find something that they love to do and just get some calm from that. I think that's so important. Yeah, you might want to know some more about myself. That is not only just anxiety, but because I don't want that to be my only personal thing. But I am 25 years old. I live in Stockholm in Sweden, and I live with my boyfriend. We both come from very large families, so we spend a lot of time with our families and with our friends. And right now, that is much the only thing I do. I spend all my days in the studio, and then I spend all my free time with our friends and family, because it's always someone's birthday or something else. But yeah, that's a little about me, and I'm hoping that you will stick around to get to know me more. I didn't understand this question though. It was, how many pictures do you buy from Instagram per month? And I don't know if she means how many paintings I sell or how many posts I advertise on Instagram. In the beginning, I advertised quite a lot, and then I felt like I didn't really have to do that when my reels and posts were getting so viral all the time. And now I do it if I have like a competition maybe, or an event or something that is happening that I want to get out, like in this city or people close to me. But now I don't really understand Instagram, because if you click that you want to boost your post, then it just say like, hey, do you want to pay so that your followers can see this post? And I'm like, isn't that why they follow me already? So that they can see my post? I don't know what's going on with Instagram right now, and I don't want to speculate on it either, because I will only get in bad mood. For this little fox, I saw the cutest Pinterest picture of a little fox who had a butterfly on its nose, and oh my god, it was the cutest. I can see if I have it on my phone. So I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. I have the cutest album here. If you can see, it has just a bunch of cute animals, usually dogs, but oh my god, it's so cute. I mean, look at this. Isn't this the cutest thing that you have ever seen? So I'm painting this little guy on my canvas. So shout out to the artist. I have no idea who took this picture, but I'm forever grateful for the inspiration. Another question that I get a lot of the times is how people can grow their Instagram, especially when they're working with art or other creative, artistic things. And I say this every time, and I will never stop saying it, that it's all about community. You have to get to know your followers, they have to get to know you, be personal, show yourself. It's when you have a brand like this, it's more about just the painting or the thing that you want to sell. It's about getting to know your community and sharing experiences and sharing feelings and emotions, and that, I feel like that is the most important thing to work on, especially nowadays where people want to have more of a personal contact to people and the people that they follow. So I really feel that it's important to take the time and answer people if they reach out. And I know I'm super bad at doing that on time, but I take at least 1 or 2 hours a day and try to answer as much as I can, both on comments and DMs and stuff like that. And I really feel like that is something that has made me feel really close to my community, and I feel like they know me and I know some of them, and that's really fun. And I think that is the most important key to a successful like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. I don't know anything about that because I'm so new here, but I'm guessing that it will be the same. The most crucial part is always the eyes, and it's so stressful to do eyes. So cute. I don't know if you can see him properly, but we have our little fox made out. We will make some grass around here. But now the $1 million question is, what color do we paint the butterfly in? I'm thinking maybe like a pink. On the picture, it's, as you can see, like kind of matches the fox, but I'm thinking that maybe we can do something more colorful that stands out. Alright, so here we have him, our little fox friend. I made the butterfly in the same kind of color that the fox was, and that was in the picture. But now I'm thinking if we should add small butterflies all over in like these small hidden places, or if we should keep it really simple and then just add my signature swans up here. But this is how it looks, and I think he's so cute. Tell me down below in the comments if you think if we should do more butterflies in different colors down here. A question that I get quite often that I will try to do my best to answer is how much to charge for your paintings. And in the beginning I charged a little bit over the material cost, I think. Or not the material cost that I was spending, because that was of course much more than the painting itself, but because it took me a lot of tries to get to the painting. So yeah, I don't know, I think I sold my first painting for, and it was a large one, and I sold it for I think 100 euros, and that might, or dollars, or around that. I think it was 1,000 Swedish crowns, but that might sound a bit much in the beginning, but that was not a winning situation for me. But I just wanted to start and gain some followers and some community and some buyers. And then I eventually hired my prices. I took a lot of commissions, and I tried to just cover up all of my expenses, and then also if I wanted to do some advertisement on Instagram, so that it would cover that as well. But now I need to count in like the rent for my studio, all of the material, my time, the delivery boxes, the delivery from the place that makes the delivery boxes to here is sometimes higher than the boxes itself count in the shipping. So I have a shipping price, but that covers like half of the actual shipping cost. And insurance, I have to pay my own salary and all the taxes and everything around that. So now I have to calculate that into my prices, of course. But in the beginning, I would say take a little bit more than the cost of making it. And I think that that's a good start to just gain some buyers just in the beginning, and then when the word spreads and you can show off your work and you have a little bit of money to purchase more paint and canvases, then you can higher your prices as well as the demand goes up. I think that's a perfect start. Okay, so I just watched a little bit of the clip that I recorded just now, and I feel so bad at this. It's just, I talk so much about nothing at all, and it goes so slowly. And as you of course know, English is not my first language. And if I would talk Swedish så skulle det gå väldigt mycket snabbare och kanske lite mer personlighet. But now, since I don't really have that much of a Swedish following, I want to include everyone. But I just feel like I get so stuck at the words and it goes so slowly, and oh my god, I don't know. I hope that you guys maybe can enjoy this. Anyhow, I'm gonna wrap up here because it's my dad's birthday and I'm going home to celebrate him soon. So I will just continue on this and keep an eye out on my Instagram if you want to see the finished painting. I hope that you got some of the answers. I know it took so long, so thank you for watching and we see you again soon. Bye!